So hello and welcome back to the next version of Mr. Follett's 9 boxes of numeracy. As always, what I'm going to do is put 9 questions onto the screen for you. I'd like you to have a go all 9 before you move on. Hopefully you start to find that you start to get quicker at working through the 9 questions, and more importantly, you start to get more confident with them, and hopefully you're getting a couple more right each time. And the more we practice this, obviously the more progress you like to make within maths, because all of these key things are essential in being able to access the majority of the curriculum. Okay, so pen and paper at the ready. On the board there, you can see that you have got 9 questions. What I'd like you to do is work through those 9 at your own pace, and then once you've worked through all 9, press play, and I'm going to start to talk you through them. So I recommend you pause the video now. Okay, so you've had enough time to work through those, and now get ready to mark them and start to see where your strengths and where your weaknesses lie. So the first one's an addition. As we've discussed on many occasions now, when we see an addition question, the first thing that we're going to do is set up our column, and then we just start to answer it. So 9 plus 1, we always start from the right hand side, don't we? 9 plus 1 is 10, so the 0 goes in there and we carry the 1. 7 add 9 is 16, add that one there is 17. 8 add 8 is 16, add the carried one is also 17. 7 add 6 is 13, add the 1 gives us an answer of 14. So the actual answer there is 14,770. The second one, multiplication. As soon as you see a multiplication question, do not forget we get that grid method drawn. So 63 multiplied by 84. So we get the grid drawn immediately as soon as we see a multiplication. 8 times 6 is 48, and we've got 2 zeros there. 3 times 8 is 24, we've got 1 0. 6 fours are also 24, 1 0. 3 fours are 12. So we've got them all like that, and then we just add them together, don't we? So we've got 5,040 adding up that column there, plus 252, 2925. So the answer is 5,292. Division. Again, hopefully as soon as you see a division question, you're confident now. We set up the bus stop. So first thing to ask yourself is, how many 5s go into 4? Well, the answer is none, with 4 left over. How many 5s go into 47? Well, 9 5s make 45, and that gives me 2 spare. How many 5s in 25? 5. So the answer is 95. Subtraction. Again, column. So we get the column set up. Take away 3, 9, 4, 6. 7 take 6 is 1. 2 take 4. We will say that we can't do that on this occasion. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow from here. So that becomes 8. And the one we've borrowed makes this one here 12. 12 take 4 is 8. 8 take 9. Again, we'll say we can't do that one. So we'll borrow from this one to make that one 7. And that one there 18. 18 take 9 is 9. 7 take 3 is 4. So the answer is 4981. Adding decimals. If I was to ask you what the one thing to remember when you're adding decimals is, hopefully you're now confident to say we must line up the decimal points. So all of the decimal points get lined up, and I always put the decimal point ready in my answer box there as well. 6 plus 0, there's like a 0 there, isn't there? Is 6. 9 plus 9 is 18, so the 8 goes there, and that 1 carries to the other side of the decimal point. 5 plus 6 is 11, add that one there is 12. And that gives us obviously 5 there, so it's 52.86. Okay, 7.9 times 8.7. What I'm going to do, when I multiply, I never really want to work with decimals. So I'm going to change this to 79 times 87. And hopefully you are confident now in doing the grid method. We've already done one. And it just shows, once you can multiply, you can actually multiply anything you like together. So just like we've done previously, 8 7s are 56 with 2 zeros. 7 7s are 49, and there's a 0 there. 9 8s are 72 with 1 0. 9 7s are 63. We're going to add these together. So again, I'm just going to quickly add these two columns in my head. You might not want to do that. You want to be a bit more thorough and put it all sort of all together in a larger column. That's absolutely fine. But you get 6320 plus 553. Add it together, 3786. So the answer to this question here, I'll do it in a different colour so you can see it, is 6873. Now look at the questions we've looked at. 7.9 times 8.7 we haven't filled in yet, but 79 times 87 is 68.73. So what we do, we're going to estimate this calculation. So I mean that 7.9 is roughly 8, 8.7 is roughly 9, and 8 times 9 is 72. So I then need to put a decimal point wherever in here makes this answer as close to 72 as possible. So obviously it needs to go in there, doesn't it? So the answer is 68.73. Okay? Find 60% of 580. First thing we always do is we find 10%. Well, 10% of 580, we just divide by 10, gives me an answer of 58. Now with this one, I'm going to teach you a little bit of a sort of a, not necessarily a trick, but something that to bear in mind that might make it a bit quicker. And that is, I could continue and say, well, 20% is obviously double that one. Or I could times my 10% by 6 to get 60%, that would work. Or, if I can find out what 50% is, well, 50% of something is just half of it, isn't it? So if I half 580, I get 290. So 50% is 290, and 10% is 58. So I'm going to add them together. So 290 plus 58, 8, 14. So 60% is 348. Next one, number 7, fraction of an amount. Now this is something you just got to get in the habit of doing. Whenever you're asked to find a fraction of an amount, we always divide by the bottom times by the top. So 88, divide by the bottom, so divide by 11 is 8. Then we times by the top. The top is obviously 4, so 8 times 4 equals 32. Be careful, on this one I did include a pound sign, so the answer is 32 pounds. Learn your tables, write out the 12 times table. What I'm going to do very quickly, I'm just going to write out the 12 times table, so it should go 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, and if you did carry on, 132, and then 144. Spend time going back over those, spend time practicing the ones that you perhaps didn't get right or took you a bit longer than some of the other questions. So keep practicing, because actually practice will improve your numeracy skills, and the more you practice these things, the quicker you get at it, and that speed will also help develop your confidence as well. As always, thank you very much for listening, and hopefully I'll speak to you again when you look at the next video. Thank you.